Will I run out of money in retirement? That's the number one fear that retirees are said to have, which I kind of doubt that because I think death would be. But anyway, let's look at this fear that people have. Again, what I do in this channel is just run numbers for people. What I want to do is just use a sample case just to show you what we do in this channel. This is something I recently saw from Yahoo Finance that recommended amount when you reach retirement is 555,000. Again, everybody's different, and we realize that. This is supposedly 10 times your annual salary. So if you were making 55,500 when you retired, 10 times that you'd have need 555,000. Obviously, people make more, people make less, but let's just use this because you have to have some kind of numbers to run. I just want to show it when we do on this channel. 555,000. Thing we need to take into account is inflation. So let's say you reach retirement age, not inflation, but Social Security. Well, we're going to take into account inflation also. I'm doing this on the fly here. The average Social Security payment was 1,907 for a retiree. So we're just going to go ahead and run that. And they said the average expenses for uh, retired people, again, everybody's going to be different, but we have to run some kind of numbers here. And that was $4,000 a month. So what we want to do is look at the numbers with this scenario. We're also going to do we'll do a COLA of 2%, which that's not keeping up in inflation. The historic is 3%, but this just shows you what we do this channel. So this shows you there's a 4.5%, 4.53% withdrawal rate on this 555,000 with these numbers, because you'd need 22,923 a month, going up by 2% a year. That'd be 25,000. The rest of it would be coming from your Social Security. So let's just go ahead and run the numbers here. And what we do is look at what the S&P 500 has done for the last 100 years, because this kind of shows us what may happen in the future. Are we going to have a decade like the Depression years, or even recently as the 2000, where we had a down decade? We're going to have some really good decades like nobody knows. So what we do is run a range here. So we're going to go ahead and update this and show you how many times using these numbers from the last 100 years, none of them which will repeat exactly, but they can give us a pretty good range. How many times with this scenario would you run out of money, which is retirees' number one fear supposedly, and in 20 years you run out of money in 2%, and 30 years you run out of money 4.2% of the time. Why? What was going on in 1929? You were just down, 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 and even in 1930 you were down, 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 down for the decades. But that just shows you the numbers. But we also did not do one other thing. If you would simply change your asset allocation, don't leave it all in the S&P 500. How might that change it? What we want to do is, this is what I'm going to show you what we do in this channel. We can go down here. Let's say you did an 80-20%, 80-20 split. You'd still be running out of money in 1929 because that was such a horrible year. But I want you to notice it's getting a little bit better. You'll be running out of money in 20 years as opposed to 14 years. That was an 80-20. Let's do a 70-30. 70-30, you're running out of money in 23 years. Again, we're looking at the worst case scenario, 1929, 1930. Every other year, you'd be just fine, which people often say, well, let's not go with a 4% rule. We could take out 5%. In most cases, yes, you can. I just like to look at the worst case scenario because that's the fear that people have, retirees, that they're going to run out of money. So I like to run the worst case scenario. So let's do a 60-40 split. 60-40 split, 1920, 1930, running out of money in 27 years, 1929, and 21 years. Does it help any to increase to a 50-50? Gained another year. You can see the 22 years there. How about a 60-40? Now it's going back down now because you want the benefit of that S&P 500. So when it does come back, you can benefit from that. If you knock that down too low, the asset allocation, you're not going to benefit from that. What's another case scenario we can look at? Well, what if we have two people involved and you're getting between the two of them, you're getting $3,000 a month? That would be a 2.16% withdrawal rate. You're going to have no problem, even in 1929 and 1930. This just shows you the benefit of the of having Social Security. It's such a blessing because not only do you get Social Security, so you don't need to take so much out of your nest egg, you also have it built-in COLA. You get a COLA every year. It may not be the right amount. We all know it's probably understated, but how about a 70-30 split? Let's go to 3% COLA. Let's go ahead and update this and see how many times you'd run out of money in the last 100 years, because all you really need from your nest egg is $1,000 a month, going up by 3% a year. No problem. Let's say you need 4,500 a month. Let's update this. Now we're up to a 3.24% withdrawal rate. This is what we do as a channel, run all kinds of different numbers. Again, we're dealing with the issue that the greatest fear of retirees is running out of money. And you can see you have any kind of Social Security, any kind of a pension, anywhere close to the average, and you're spending anywhere close to the average, you're going to have no problem. We went at 4,500. We had a 3% COLA. We did a 70-30 split in asset allocation. You don't run out of money, even if we had returns as horrible as the Depression years 1929 on. Why? Because your withdrawal rate is well below this 4%, and you're getting the Social Security. Let's say you only got 2,500 for Social Security. Again, this is what we can do on this channel. Just run all kinds of different scenarios. Here, then you're running out of money. With 4,500, do you run out of money with 4,000? No. See the difference there? The key is how much you need a month and how much you're getting from Social Security. And then we go ahead and run the numbers. Also, we're looking at obviously the COLA. You could cut back on your COLA. We're looking at different asset allocation, but that's what we do on this channel. In this case, if you needed the 4,000 a month, which they said the average retiree right now is needing about $4,000 a month. Well, if you're getting $2,500 from Social Security, you only need $1,500 from your nest egg. And we're giving out a 3% COLA. We also know that Social Security gives you a COLA. I'm kind of rehashing some of the same stuff, but I'm just showing you this $555,000. In many cases, you're going to be just fine if you just have normal expenses of $4,000. Once you start going up to $4,500, we saw if we had returns like 1929, which was very rare. I want to emphasize that. Very rare that you had these kind of returns. In the last 100 years, how many times you run out of money? That's updating. 1.2%, which is 1929, and then it's 4.2%, which is 1928, 29, and 1930, because you're running into all these. But the one other year you might have an issue was as recently as the year 2000. Again, I'm just showing you what we do on this channel. Concerning that fear of running out of money, we did this in the year 2000. 4,500 with a 70-30 split and a 3% COLA, you'd be down to 122,000 after 20 years. It hasn't been 25 years yet, so you'd be close to running out of money if you needed 4,500. And again, if you go back to the average 4,000, then you have no problem. After 20 years, you have 482,000. It's actually going up because of this 70-30 split that you have, because the stock market does come back. It's just whether you have enough money to last long enough for it to come back. But that's what we do on this channel. We run different numbers for people. I just love doing this. Please consider subscribing. Please share this channel with others. Let them know there's a channel out there that'll answer some of these questions that are really plaguing people, both in the accumulation stage. Do I have enough? The retirement stage. Will I have enough with certain expenses? And I just love running numbers for people, and we just look at what the averages are, but we can run any kind of numbers. If you have $1 million, you need 5,000 a month, we'll go ahead and run that. Please like the video, share the video, and thanks for watching.